And
okay, in this session, I want to talk about the second categorical imperative developed by Immanuel Kant himself. This second categorical imperative, in some sense, is more important than the first categorical imperative. The first categorical imperative, written and argued by Kant himself, is this: act in such a way that your private principle of behavior can be ruled as a universal moral law. That was the first categorical imperative. The second categorical imperative is about the respect. He says, treat others as an end, not as means only. If all human beings are moral and rational human beings, rational creatures, then we have a moral duty to respect others, right? Because unless we respect others, the first categorical imperative can never be fully realized. So in order for the first categorical imperative to be fully realized, we have to create a certain social context in which everyone is supposed to respect each other. I think, this second categorical imperative is more important than the first one because we have a great, ethical implication based on this second categorical imperative. The Kantian deontologists argue this way. Their understanding of the moral life is this: what I'm asking from you is not sympathy. What I'm asking you from you is not mercy. I'm not asking for your empathy either. But what I'm asking from you is your respect, and I will respect you. So this, Kantian deontological theory is all about respecting others, no matter who they are. Everyone is worthy of respect, not because we own ourselves, but because we are rational human beings. And we are capable of reasoning, and we should be constituted as autonomous human beings. So it is very important to respect each other and creating society in such a way. I'm going to give you one example of this case. Let us talk about the case of Adolf Eichmann. Adolf Eichmann, he's a German Nazi member, and he was hired to send tens of thousands of people to the death camp. As a result of his action, many people got killed. When the war came to an end, somehow he sneaked out, and then he left the land, and he created his own new identity, and he lived in Argentina. The Mossad, the Israel secret agencies, later found out he lived there, so they actually abducted him, and then he brought to Jerusalem, and then he had the court kind of decision there. So the case of Adolf Eichmann is interesting because during his trial, somehow he defended himself by saying that the only thing he did was following the order. In some sense, he's saying that he was following a certain kind of imperative. So he was faithful to his own duty, and his duty was sending these innocent people to death camp. Well, in some sense, his argumentation seems to be right because he's just followed the order. But we have to understand that the reason why he followed order is not for the sake of the moral law itself, for the sake of himself. He wanted to get some money out of that, but he tried to defend himself. He just followed order. So in this case, Eichmann case shows that the egregious form of deontological understanding. The deontology as a moral law does not ratify his behavior because deontology argues that it's all about treating people as an end, not as means only. Sending innocent people to death camp is definitely treating people as means only, not as an end. Following this kind of logic, we can denounce the case of the slavery and trafficking and human beings and things like that. So the human rights and its concepts can be grounded upon this Kantian moral understanding.